Hello, I'm Mike Fontaine, National Managing Partner of Human Resources, and today I'm here with Jenny Lucina, our partner in charge of retirement, wealth, and mobility. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Mike.
As you look ahead to your retirement from the firm, we want to reaffirm our commitment to help you prepare for this important milestone and to help you develop a clear vision for the next chapter of your life. Our dedicated teams in partner services, partner care, and HR stand at the ready to guide you through the process of retiring from the firm. But Jenny, wouldn't you agree that there's a lot more than retiring from the firm and these operational elements and the teams that would help you?
Without a doubt, Mike. While our partners are typically financially well positioned with all of the savings and retirement programs that we have on a tax-deferred basis, the actual act of retiring from the firm represents a major life event, and the unknown can be stressful. Our retiring partners often leave the firm asking themselves, what do I do next, and how do I make it happen? And that's where a company called My Next Season comes in. Mike, can you share a little bit more about the program with our audience?
Sure, Jenny, I'd be happy to. My Next Season was introduced in FY19 as a resource for retiring partners to help you develop and refine your vision for life after KPMG. Guided by a team of experienced advisors, all of whom are actually retired executives themselves, My Next Season will help you plan for and navigate through this transition and help ensure that you are well positioned for success in the years ahead for whatever it is that you want to do. It's available to all partners who are retiring in a given year, and the feedback that we've received to date has been outstanding. Jenny, you want to share a little bit about that?
Absolutely, Mike. We have been so pleased with what we have been hearing from our retiring partners about the impact of My Next Season. I brought my notes. This partner says, if anyone has not signed up for this service, they are missing out on a tremendous benefit that the firm is giving them. Even if you think you know what you want to do post-retirement, the My Next Season process will help you look both inward and outward to get a fresh perspective to validate and augment your thinking. I would highly recommend this process to retiring partners. I also think it would be helpful to share one more testimonial, which provides some additional insights into the level of service and the team itself over at My Next Season. I am so impressed and pleased with the assistance provided to me by every member of the My Next Season team. They are extremely helpful, proactive, highly responsive, and professional. I feel very fortunate to have the opportunity to work with each of my coaches, and am confident their assistance will enable me to achieve my goal of making a difference in my next phase.
That's pretty great feedback,
Isn't that
Jenny,
great
for the
stuff?
first year of actually running this program. So I think it really captures a lot about what we've been hearing from the retiring partners who participated. The talented coaches and writers at My Next Season also have a lot to offer. They're going to provide you with a number of great insights from working with other retired partners and other executives in other firms, and they're going to share how they've achieved success for you and how you can achieve success after retirement. Jenny, let me ask you, if there's one area that you think sets My Next Season apart as we looked at the different vendors that we thought about supplying to partners, which one, what do you think that really is?
Mike, I think My Next Season really sets itself apart in terms of its external engagement. This includes helping you develop collateral such as resumes, LinkedIn profiles, and bios, and helping you fine-tune your networking strategy. In fact, these are the areas where our partners most frequently ask us for help. Let's face it, many of us have never written a board bio, and many others haven't written a resume in 30 years. The skilled writers at My Next Season will help you structure a resume or bio with the key information enabling you to stand out as an attractive candidate for whatever it is you want to pursue next.
Thanks for sharing those insights, Jenny. As you can see, My Next Season provides a full suite of services to help you navigate this exciting time in your life. And Jenny and I have only really scratched the surface today. So please stay tuned and watch the rest of this 20-minute video, which features some of the senior team members at My Next Season talking about their services. While you can access My Next Season for up to 6 months after your retirement date, we strongly encourage you to take action now while you are still an active partner. This will give you the time you need to reflect on your future, leverage the existing relationships that you have, and think about the powerful resources provided to you by My Next Season throughout your transition. You can get started today by setting up your first coaching appointment with the My Next Season team. All you need to do is call or email our dedicated contact. This information is also available to you on Partner Center, as well as the Benefits Connection website under Retirement.
So thank you for your time today. Enjoy the following 20-minute video, and congratulations on a great career at KPMG.
All the best to you and congratulations on your retirement. Thanks, Jenny.
Thanks, Mike.
Hello and welcome. My name is John Thiel, and I'm a partner and a senior advisor with My Next Season. With me today is Debbie Dellinger, the head of our external engagement at My Next Season. We're here today to discuss a unique benefit that KPMG is offering all the retiring partners at the firm. In fact, we've worked with many of your colleagues who have retired before you. Now, at My Next Season, we help people like you plan for and navigate the transition from working full-time, giving all each day, to whatever's next for you. As I experienced, the change is really significant. So let me begin as I found myself in the same place as all of you a few years ago when I decided to retire from running Merrill Lynch Wealth Management. And I was fortunate to find My Next Season through a friend and a former colleague. So in 2016, I made a decision that it was time for me to retire. It was a thoughtful process. I absolutely wanted to give my company plenty of time, and I gave them a year notice. There's a couple things, though, that I would tell you that I didn't really expect, that I learned from, that I think can benefit you and in this process. Number one, everyone tells you, boy, it's really different when the email gets shut off and you're not going to 14 meetings a day. And while I could intellectualize that, it was very different behaviorally when it actually happened, because what I didn't realize is my habits were wake up in the morning and unfortunately pick up my phone and start running through my emails. But that first day, there weren't any. Something that you ought to think about and why we think this work that we do is so important. The other thing was I was now home. I was in my wife's life. And it really was something that we hadn't talked about as thoroughly as we should have, and something that I would recommend. And then finally, I think the other point that I would share that was really impacted me is all the people who are wanting to give you advice. You're young. You still have a lot left. So did I. And everybody wants to tell you what you should do. Now, me personally, I was ready to do nothing for some period of time, just to rest, relax, and renew. But I will tell you that that's going to come. All three of those things, plus many, many others, are things that we want to help you with in My Next Season. It's important to seek advice and support from those who've been through this transition and can share practical advice and resources to help you along the way. The My Next Season process does just that, as it did for me. So let me explain. Whenever I talk to people about what they want to do in their next season, I ask them to reflect on the thought process that they went through in their career planning. The first really was, what's it that you love? What are the things you really, really enjoy doing? Where are the opportunities out there, and what does the world need more of? What can you get paid for doing that you're good at? And where are your gifts and capabilities that are unique to you? It's the intersection of all those things that formed our early career thinking and where most of us started our job journey. Now let's transition to where you are today. As you contemplate your next season and where to focus, the thought process again is very similar. What is it that matters to you? Because first and foremost, you should be focusing your time on something that's important to you. Who needs what you have? That begins to underscore where there may be opportunity for the gifts that you bring. How can you make a difference? Is it through coaching, through expertise, from relationships? Do you want to speak? Do you want to write? And what is it that you want your legacy to be? Because what you don't want to do is pick up your hat a few years down the road and think, I wish I had focused on something else. But it is the intersection of those areas that frames our next season. You know, we've worked with hundreds of executives like you, and their experience and wisdom, along with ours, can really help you as you think through your transition. Some advice from those many people who've come before you. Number one, start earlier than you think is reasonable. Why do I say that? Well, there are a lot of things over the last 2 or 3 years of your career, even in the last year as you may be preparing for that, that you say, I don't really have time to do because I'm busy trying to finish up this client work. But that's exactly what the way you should be thinking is, maybe I should go and do that, because it begins to start your network for whatever is next. We've had so many people tell us, boy, I would have handled this or that differently if I had more time. You do have time, so take that time. The second thing I would really reflect on is to pause and reflect before you jump into something. So many of us are so anxious that we stop that day, and the next day we feel like we've got to go fill that void. Well, number one, from a health perspective, I would strongly suggest that you slow down. But number two, it gives you the clarity and the time for you to really reflect on what you love doing, but maybe more importantly, for you to certainly catalog and inventory what you don't enjoy doing, because you don't want to take that in to whatever's next. As you go through the process, again, I would say be gentle with yourself. What do I mean? Listen, we all are going to make mistakes. None of us have done this before. This is a first for us. We're going to be thinking that we should have it all figured out. There's no way we could possibly have it all figured out. And it's something that every day you live with. And what I'm telling you is forgive yourself, because if with time, everything will work out. Two more things. Number one, relationships, relationships, relationships. What do I say that for? Listen, whatever you're going to do, it's going to be enhanced by your ability to maintain and nurture your relationships. Many of us didn't network for so many years because people came to us. What we're going to tell you is that that's a skill that you've got to sort of dust off and bring back, because it's ultimately relationships that will matter, and Debbie will go into a little bit about how important that is in a moment. And then finally, the last piece that I would that our executives who've gone through this before have shared is don't go it alone. We all need somebody to talk to. Talk to somebody who's walked through this process before themselves personally, as well as with others. So My Next Season has developed a process to support you as you think through and prepare for whatever's next for you, your next season. First, it starts with a one-on-one advisor engagement process. Let's call it discernment. We'll spend a lot of time trying to work with you to figure out what it is you want to do, where you want to spend your time, what's important to you, what do you want to take forward, what do you want to leave behind. Once that is developed, then you'll begin to work with Debbie and her team to begin to engage in a process where you rebrand yourself or prepare for yourself for whatever that is. We'll help you with your resume, your bio, LinkedIn, and any other pieces that are important that really tell the story of who you want to be, as well as reflect on who you have been. I mentioned networking. That's really important. So we'll help you with that and set you up for that. And then if your next season includes thought leadership, we will help you with the writing and help you get those kinds of materials out. So as you can see, the process is a combination of really spending time being thoughtful and planning, but then bringing resources to you to help you practically implement whatever the plan it is you develop, and make sure that we tell your story as appropriately as possible. And finally, we found that many transition executives have a great deal of expertise and wisdom to share. So how can you and how can we help you do that most effectively? So as you can see, the process is a combination of planning for what is next and then helping you tangibly prepare for that journey. My colleague and friend Debbie Dellinger will expand on the resources we'll bring to you, so to make sure that we prepare you to be successful in whatever is next for you. Debbie?
Thank you, John. The My Next Season External Engagement Team will help you connect the dots on what you want to do next. Many times, those areas include board work, volunteer leadership, community involvement, and thought leadership. We are most interested in your thoughts and what you would like to do to explore in your next season, and we will work to help you get to those goals. We have a team of senior writers who are experts in crafting and updating your resume, bio, and LinkedIn profile to position you for what you would like to do in that first next season. The possibilities are endless, so we like to think in terms of a portfolio of activities that might include some executive engagements and always includes personal activities. We don't assume that these ideas are for everyone, nor are we suggesting that you do them all. You may be interested in pursuing board work, both corporate and not-for-profit, as part of a portfolio of executive engagement. Your KPMG Board Center for Excellence is a wonderful resource, and we will work with you to further understand issues and challenges boards are facing today, as well as the director profiles boards are seeking. Because networking is essential to securing that nomination, we offer research to help you begin those conversations about what you uniquely bring to a directorship. Our Executive on Loan offering matches you with not-for-profit CEOs, many of them new to their positions, to both mentor as they assimilate into the role and to work on specific strategic initiatives. John mentored the CEO of an organization positioned to develop professional women, and while working with her for 9 months, she implemented her strategic plans with the support of her board and executive staff and he offered lessons learned from his own experiences. In another example, one of our clients, a retired partner in an accounting firm, is currently working with the American Red Cross, their audit committee, their CFO, as well as mentoring young professionals in the finance area, and is finding this experience deeply satisfying. While there are so many interests to name, we love to explore and support your ideas for what might be interesting in your next season. KPMG has a strong network with retired partners who have graduated from any number of colleges and universities, and many find joy and reward in getting involved with their alma mater or those institutions close to their home. Thought leadership, as John mentioned, can be used as a means of pulling opportunities to you and sharing your knowledge to be helpful and to offer expertise and insight. As part of our engagement, our team will craft a resume and a bio and update your LinkedIn profile to ensure you have the professional tools to network now and in your next season. While many of you serve in leadership roles following retirement from the firm, we have clients, partners who have little interest in seeking executive engagements, and the resume and bio become an important part in telling their story to family and friends, as well as helpful when assuming community leadership. Part of our process is asking you to think through your values proposition, not only what makes you unique and what you and only you can bring to engagements, but you want to offer of yourself and expertise. We go through this process as part of our methodology to not only position you in your professional materials, but to ensure that you have the words and phrases ready to share with someone who asks what you want to do next. You can express the qualities and experience you choose to bring to an opportunity of interest. Because your work is technical, relational, and you may wear many leadership hats, we suggest that you begin to think now about how you achieved your success in addition to what your success has been, the roles, the titles, the achievements, and the challenges. What you do to prepare for your next season will be dictated by what you want to do and how you choose to present yourself. You've earned the right to be choiceful about how you spend your time. Our work together will ease the transition to retirement, and our approach to your next season is customized, and we offer these elements of rebranding for your consideration. Again, we don't expect you to undertake every activity, but we strongly suggest some and will support each. Think through what you want to be known for, and it doesn't have to always include career and business-oriented activities. We work to help you envision a plan, early thoughts that lead to more cohesive plans for your next season, knowing that one season will lead into the next. You will envision your next season with an advisor, talking about what you love, what you want to leave behind, and contemplating your many options moving forward. When thinking about your current digital footprint, we suggest that you create a Gmail account now, one that is mnemonic, for example, your name @gmail.com. Please don't make it too casual or personal. We've had to dissuade one client from using dannyboy@gmail.com. Always include a signature line and update it as your status changes. Your LinkedIn profile is part of your digital footprint as well, and many of you have profiles that are well developed based on your current role. I would suggest checking the URL for your profile and deleting the random numbers and letters attached to it. Make sure your headshot is professional and current, and as you begin to shift to your next season goals, people will begin to view your profile, and it's a good idea to make sure it's up to date. We will work on your resume and bio as a team. The work you do ahead of time with both your advisor and with the external engagement team will be important to positioning you for what you want to do next. Our goal is to highlight your achievements towards next season goals, including industries, specialization, as well as the multiple leadership roles you've held both internal and external to the firm. The resume will capture your entire career: education, community service, speaking, professional affiliations, and board service. The bio is a document only senior executives use and is written to illustrate how you showed up to achieve the results in your career. We call this, again, your value proposition, what makes you unique and what you bring to the table that no one else does quite like you. A great way to position yourself for any of these opportunities is through your thought leadership. Current thought leadership is what you might post or publish now, leveraging your knowledge and experience with an audience that is naturally looking to you for insight. Many of you interested in thought leadership have likely taught seminars and classes within KPMG and have been a speaker for professional associations. Thought leadership can be as simple as posting comments on others' blogs and LinkedIn in order to reinforce the topic and provide insights. Forward-facing thought leadership is using the same outlets, but beginning to think in terms of what you want to do next. Writing, speaking, or teaching, using your current platform to apply your expertise in different ways and develop your brand while your next season goals are evolving. Developing new skills can be viewed in a couple of ways. You may feel you need to know how to do some tasks on the computer without the support you're used to having. There are tutors and organizations that can help you learn these skills, and we can connect you to them. You may feel you want to speak at professional conferences and universities and perhaps be paid to do so, and we can help you find a speaking coach for evaluation and feedback. You may have a hobby, musical, artistic, athletic, that you haven't had time for in recent years, and there are community groups in local colleges that, again, we can connect you to, and even grandchildren who can help you brush up on your skills and techniques. One thing we know about KPMG partners is that you are relational. Networking, developing and maintaining relationships is important to your current role and will be just as important to you as you move into retirement. The network that you have developed in the course of your adult life with colleagues, clients, in your community, professionally and personally, will be your best resource to connect to the work, opportunities, and activities you want to explore and undertake. Networking is reciprocal and can be very helpful to both parties as you listen and learn what others are doing. Being intentional in your networking, knowing your value to others, and staying organized are key. Denise Clark is a former client of ours who wanted to serve on boards, both public and not-for-profit, as she moved into her next season. Her LinkedIn profile illustrates a strong use of the platform, a professional headshot, a great background photo, a succinct headline positioning towards goals, and a summary written in the first person to highlight not only her qualifications, but to place her on the top of searches that a recruiter or a company might launch to strategically identify possible board members. And in point of fact, she is serving on the boards that she wished to. We've highlighted the text in her summary to show you how we want to strive to make sure that you have complete thoughts on the top of your top-loaded summary so people who land on your profile can see what you want them to see, cohesively and as a full thought, and we count characters. Many of you are already thought leaders, teaching, writing, and publishing for the KPMG Tax News Flash, KPMG Board Leadership Center, and in professional publications. Others are guest lecturers and panelists at colleges and universities. Your career is the foundation on which you build thought leadership. It is your entry, your credential as an expert with significant insight. Consider the degree to which you want to participate and tailor your engagements to what you want to do next, whether it's volunteering, corporate directorships, or consulting. Gradually move in the direction of your next season goals and begin to rebrand yourself. Thought leadership in every form increases visibility, extends your network, and once again, pulls opportunities to you. The clearest message we get from this Harvard study is that good relationships keep us happier and healthier, period. The study tracked the physical and emotional well-being of two populations over 75 years. 456 poor men growing up in Boston from 1939 to 2014, and 268 males from Harvard's classes of 1939 through 1944. Using blood samples, brain scans once they became available, and self-reported surveys as well as interviews, the data is clear. It is not the number of friends you have, nor is it if you are in a committed relationship, but it is the quality of your close relationships that matter. Many of our clients realize a deep desire to gather and enjoy life in a new way with family and friends. We have been honored to work with the KPMG partners. Present always was the intent and desire to integrate into family and community in a more present and robust manner. We look forward to being able to help you as you plan your retirement and transition into a fulfilling and purposeful next season.
So thank you so much. And most importantly, congratulations on an incredible career. Well done.